Hello friends, welcome back to Tech Server Global. Hope you guys doing well. So from today we are going to start a new series on Azure DevOps tools and technologies, and our first topic is Azure Boards. So we'll start with what is Azure Boards, then we'll discuss on the previous deployment methodologies, waterfall, and the current one, agile methodology, and difference between them, and what are the tools and components being included in the Azure Boards. So Azure Boards is basically a web-based tool which is used to plan and set up a task for the developers for during the development methodologies and during the setup and process of development of your project. So these are the agenda which we are going to be discuss on this video. First is waterfall methodology, agile methodology, comparison between waterfall and agile, Azure Boards, work item process, and user and permission. So let's start with the waterfall technology. So basically waterfall tech software development model which is used in a context of large complex project, typically in the field of information technology. Waterfall model is a classic software development methodology that was first introduced by Winston in 1970. So what are the key components that we need to be learn about the waterfall methodology? First is requirement gathering analysis. The first phase involves the gathering of requirement gathering from the stakeholders and analyze them to understand the scope of work and objective of the project. Design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So this is the software development methodology which is used in the early stage of the software development. This is the diagram which define what is waterfall and what are the key component and the stages available with the waterfall. First one is requirement analysis, design, coding, testing, and operation. So what was the issue with the waterfall? So every time on first day of the requirement gathering, they gather the requirement for whole project, and then they as a whole project they will pass that particular stage from one to another. Like once the requirement gathering complete, then they will provide the analysis, then they provide the design. So it is time consuming activity, as well as sometime if one platform or one stage is being not working properly, that will affect the whole project. Now the agile methodology. So agile methodology is a project management framework that breaks the project into several dynamic phases. It is not like something like with downfall methodology that every moment it is process has been designed and from start to end that particular phase is being included as a one phase. But in agile methodology there are several dynamic phases which is known as sprints. So agile methodology is an iterative methodology. After every sprint, team reflect, look back if there was anything and that could be improved, so that so they can adjust their strategy for the next sprint. So in waterfall, what was happened when they started the discussion and then they implement the project startup, they will not internally discuss with the internal development as well as QA. After whole setup was prepared, then they navigate to then they go with the QA and they validate the whether it is built up properly or not. But at that moment the time was about to complete to deliver the project. So agile methodology is quite faster than and accurate than the waterfall. So type of agile or methodology, first one is Scrum. It ideal project for rapidly changes requirement with short sprint. Kanban used to validate, it visualize the project progress and task requirement for the output. Lean, it streamline process and eliminating the waste of customer value. Extreme programming, it enhances software quality responsive to customer satisfaction. And adaptive project framework works well for the project with unclear detail and as it adapt to constantly evolving the client need. So this is the agile scrum process. We'll start with the product owner. Input from the stakeholder and the users that this is the requirement, and then start with the by creating the sprint and the team member and the scrum master. The scrum master who prepared the scrums. What we do, what to do, and problem founding, and that should be a daily meeting and of 15 minutes. Here you can see the sprint review. So every time, for example, first sprint is set up properly and then at least having the review. So if certain thing been missing, automatically it will revert back and again start with that particular sprint only. Then once this sprint been validated properly, then it release with the product, and then they will validate that particular progress with each separate task. So agile software development is a scrum methodology framework for the managing development process. Now let's come to a main point, Azure Boards. So first we'll show what is workflow states, what is work item process, work with users, access level, and dashboards. So let's start with Azure Board Hub. So let me navigate to the Azure DevOps, and this is my Azure DevOps login. Simple. First you need to register with your free account if you are going with the free. But if you are already been registered, then it asks for the pay-as-you-go model. So this is my home page where I just log in with my username, and this is the where I create one project called tax server. So let me start with the by creating the new project. To create new project, there is option called new project. Let me put name as for example testing, and I'm putting some description like test project, and I'm putting as a private. If you just create it, it will automatically create with the basic standard, but to change the item process, you can use any of the project, work item, agile, CMI, scrum, or basic. According to the work item, you will get different options which we are going to be explain in detail, which I am going to explain in detail with the further slide. So let me again navigate to this. So first one is work item. The access list of the work item based on the specified criteria such as those assigned to you. Once you follow, work item in view or update. So if I'm just cancel it and just click on the existing project. So under board there are multiple options. First one is work item. Under work item you can create your bug, epic, feature, issue, task, test case, and user story. Anything that you want to create, you can create under it. But the work item is depend on the what kind of project you have selected. Is it basic, agile, or scrum, or CMMI? Then second is board. So under board you can identify the new active, resolved and closed. So let me do one thing first. We'll start with the new project and we'll create the new project with taste, and let me choose default basic, create. So let me navigate to board and work item, and let me just click. So here you can see there are only three options: epic, issue and task. Why? Because it is the basic uh, basic project type. So let me navigate to new project, taste one, and I am choosing, let's say, agile. So now let me navigate to board and work item, and I'm click on the new item. So there are multiple options. So first let me click on the create or epic. So here you can create the new search for the user. I'm just putting using a default one. Now let me enter the title. Let's say setup CRM. For example, I just putting this name with the setup CRM. You can put any description like setting up the CRM. And if any discussion, or if you want to mention any guy, you can put it over. Let me save this. So here you can see the epic has been created. So let me just back to work item. So here you can see one epic has been created. Now you can create a bug if you require. You can enter the title, the new bug, and save. So you can create each and every work item according to your requirement and the, for example, let's say feature, issue, test case and user story. So let's create a user story under the epic. So let me user story as install and configure. Let's back to my work, and again new, and let's say set up basic component of CRM. Sorry, instead of title I just put. So I have created one epic and two user stories. So now from here you can email or delete or copy to clipboard, anything. Now let me navigate to this epic. Here you can add a link, existing user story or existing link type you can add. If you have any branch, you can here you can create and align to this particular epic. You can add start date, target date, all the things. Now let me navigate to boards. So here we have created two user stories. So as far as you will add the new item, it will automatically cover under new. You can change by drag and drop with active, and automatically once you put your user story from new to active, automatically it will assign to the guy who has been changed its status. Okay, so automatically you can just drag and drop to new. So automatically when you change the status from new to active, automatically it's been allocated to the user. Now backlogs. So view, plan, order, organize your backlog according to your sprint. You can add backlog as well. So let me click on backlog, sorry. If you have any backlog, you can according to planning, you can change the you can add a new work item according to your sprint 1, 2, 3. You can put a planning as well using backlog. Then we have sprints. You can add sprints whether when did this particular sprint will be completed. Now the next thing, queries. You can create a custom work item according to your requirement, and then delivery plan. According to delivery plan, you can change new plan. Let's say implementation of CRM. You can add stories and create. So here I have created one delivery plan. Now the next thing, analytic view. Here you can see multiple analytics view. These are the pre-configured analytics views. You can change. You can use bugs today, task today, work item today, user stories today. So let's say stories today. You can edit as well. You can also edit and delete and change it. You can also integrate with Power BI. Now we will have the workflow states. So first one is epic. The epic is basically used for the new item, like implementation started, then feature completed, resolved, close in error, and this feature using the implement and started, stories completed, then user stories, then task and bug. So you can, this is the workflow state of the each project management scenarios, where each and every task been passed through different stories. Then work item process. To track the different work type, you choose a specific work item, and your backlog might be user stories, agile, or basic, or product backlog item, scrum, and requirement CMMA. So according to your project requirement, you can choose your work item process. Basic is started with basic epic, issue, and task. Agile work, choose agile when your team use agile planning method, including scrum, track development, and the test activity separately. Scrum, choose scrum when your team practice scrum. The test, this process work great for the tracking product backlog item and bug on the Kanban boards. And last one is CMI. This process work great tracking the product backlog item bugs on the Kanban board. Now working with the users. So you can add a user with the Azure DevOps. This user can be Microsoft account. To work with the Azure DevOps, Azure Boards, you need to create a Microsoft based account or GitHub user basis. These users can be assigned a required project. You can change the project by choosing the project setting and by adding that new team member. If you have multiple team members, you can add it from the here by choosing. There are 4 different type of access level of user. First one is basic. This provides most of the features with Azure DevOps, which excludes Azure team plans. Second one is basic plus test plan. This gives the access to basic plus test plan. Third one is stakeholders. This is a free access but has limitations. Limited access to Azure boards and pipeline. No access code or repository. And fourth one is Visual Studio. This depends on the Visual Studio subscription assigned to the user. So there are 4 different access level of the users. Dashboard. Using dashboard, there are certain things that you can achieve. This is the customizable interactive signboard that can help to real-time information. Second one is chart. Here you can create charts based on your work item. Third one is widgets. This display configurable options charts on the dashboard. And fourth one is this systems are generated chart based on the services. So according to the dashboard, you can just overview and summarize your dashboards by creating the widgets from the existing, like assign to you, add. So these are the, like, I'm just done editing. So this is my default dashboard. You can edit multiple widgets according to you, so you can manage that particular dashboard. So this is basically a Azure board informative video. Will conclude the repos, test plans, pipeline, artifacts in the upcoming few videos. So thank you very much for to view the video, and hope you are like the videos. Kindly provide your input on the comment section. Thank you very much.